Frankenmuth. We are episode 12, and today is something a little different. We are, as Mr. Seeley P would say, looking at a pretty cool piece of kit, and I'll show you what that is. I'm going to hop in the Kenworth over here. It was filled up with digestate after the last little bit there. The other oxbow is sitting here with the grass end ejector on the back of it. They finished up with the grass field, but the other machine has managed to make it here, and it is down in field 17 where we took corn off yesterday. The Challenger, we put the deep ripper in there and got all the ground covered with the deep ripper. I think it's just finishing up the headlands, but we have the other oxbow sitting here with the new injector back. I'll show you that, and we'll end up running it for a little bit here today. Wait for this truck to get past, and then we'll back in. I believe he'll need to fill up here in just a minute, but this unit is a Horse Joker with the manure injection system on it, but it also has the mini drill, which is the kit that allows you to do cover crops or small seeds, canola with it at that point. So I've been able to put the cover crop into that holder. So we're now putting down manure, digestate, and doing the cover crops on this corn stalks at the same time. So I'm excited. They started doing a little bit last night. You can see here, it looks like it's basically cultivated in, but it has our cover crops growing on it. So we'll hop in here. We'll get a couple runs going. At some point, we'll have to get the Challenger out of here. But for now, we can fire this up. Drop her in the ground. Auto steer, and we are off. Look at that. Isn't that slick? What I'm actually going to do is... minutes. But talk about cool, right? You're doing two things at the same time. And it's leaving it field ready so we can no-till plant right into it this coming spring with whatever crops we're putting in here. So I'm happy. I think this is so neat. And this is very similar to the system as to what I used to personally own. Only instead of the Joker, I had some other toolbars on the back. We didn't do any cover crops at the time because it was a long time ago, and farmers weren't doing a lot of cover crops at the time there. But yeah, this is something new and something different, and I'm pretty cool that this is on this farm right now doing this. So we'll lift up here, turn over. So basically, with this machine, you'd have to run skip rows with it all the time. It's so big that you would never get it to turn around back on its own paths. That's to be expected. I'm going to turn the lines back on so I can see. Here we go. Drop on the ground, and we're off again. So I think probably what'll be close is we're going to need to fill up when we get back to the front. So we'll wheel over to the truck, hook up the arm here, and that's right here. Get filled up, and then we'll keep rolling here. So basically where we're sitting at, the cover crops in the oat field is done. The truck and chopper are still rolling in that new field of ours southwest of here. So we're probably going to have another, I don't know, 6, maybe 5 truckloads of corn silage that we're going to be bringing back, and that should be enough to be able to keep cows good for the rest of the year. And then basically once we get this field done, we will rip the other field when it's finished with the corn silage being off, and we'll do the exact same thing here to that. Finding that this has actually been quite picky for being able to. I guess we can't use the loader arm today. We'll use the hose off the side to fill it instead. But anyways, back to what I was saying. We'll get the other cornfield done, and then we're going to move into October, and we're going to keep being busy. We've got soybeans, we've got corn, we've got sweet potatoes, sugar beets, excuse me, and that's going to keep us busy for probably 3, if not 4 episodes through October there. And then we've got all the tillage work that we've got to do, all of the, obviously I'd like to try and get digestate on everything if we can. I'd also like to try and get covers put on everything because this ground blows extremely bad. But we'll have to see how the weather allows with that, and we'll just have to see. But yeah, so for today, this is our job, and I love it. So one thing, anybody that's watching, I'm still waiting for subscriber contracts. You need to throw some stuff in the comment section for me, the people that are watching, and let me know what kind of product I can deliver, in quotation right now, deliver to you, and how much you're willing to pay for it. Again, I've got my own list here. They were made up. I'd really like to have some realistic ones coming from you to try and make this a little bit more interactive with the people that are watching these videos. So if you'd be interested in doing something like that, or if you could, definitely be happy if you did so. That's so cool. So the old version that I had was an NMS, nutrient management system, and it was a chassis very similar to this, only it had a longer nose, and the engine was out front. It was called a 9105, was the first 2 that I owned, and then there was a 9205, which was the next series that came out. That would have been back in 2007, 2008, 2009. And then AgChem, who was the owners at the time of the group, and it eventually ended up going to AgCo, they eventually canceled the project, and I believe that this is where Oxbow picked it up, which is Pluger in Europe, and they continue to run with it, and I believe that there's quite a few of these rigs still running in Europe, with the liquid box or the liquid tank on the back and a dry box on the back. So they aren't running here in North America as far as I know, but there are still a bunch of the old ones running around doing bio human waste and stuff like that. So Arkansas, down through that neck of the woods, I think all the ones that I had here in Ontario have now left, but lots of them still running in the States there. So it was a pretty cool system, pumped, mapped, flow rated. They were ahead of their time for what they were doing and how they were doing it, and it just unfortunately never took off for a lot of places. And I'm sure the headland's actually going to be the most difficult part with this thing being so big, but stop here in a second to get rid of that that Challenger. Let's get over that way a little bit further in a minute. It looks so clean. Look at that. That ripper definitely does a really good job. You can see how soft the ground is with this rig running on top of it, and we only pull it at 8 mile an hour just because it's making this machine work with that ground lift that it gave it with that ripper. We needed that too because the compaction in this field was bad from the weather earlier in the summer. A bunch of 5 and 6 inch rains that came into this area, and that rain, surprisingly enough, will compact as bad as running tires like this over top of it doing things. See it, but there's a bit of a hill coming up that spot there. A bit of a knoll. Should be able to make it down. Might be able to make it back. So this little tank here, called a mini drill, and it's a hydraulically driven meter, and then hydraulically driven fan, and you can see the black hoses there. They run out and they get sprayed down just in front of these rollers here, and that's how we're spreading the cover crops. And then basically the rollers are just pressing them into the ground, and that's what'll end up germinating from there. So that's an option that you can put on any joker right now that you can get. The manure kit, I'm guessing that'll be something from Bolozang or something like that. That's a custom thing, but you can see the distributors and the hoses coming down the hitch and the wings there. So it's getting put down just in front of the discs. Actually, you can see it right there. That's pretty neat. Here once I get around this turn, show you the inside of it. Pretty simple, not a whole lot there. Got a GPS screen, rear camera, just the main monitor for operations on the machine. Looks like a hydrostat handle and some extra buttons off the side of it. So this is a Kloss cab, just like a Kloss combine, so they've taken and put it on here, so it's pretty simple. See the reflection of the joker in those mirrors. That's neat. Alright, we'll refill again when we get up to the front. Side here just a little bit more and see if I can't make that work on the truck. Oh, still doesn't line up with the hole, but at least we're in the trigger now to be able to fill. Go. Stay out of the sugar beets. So, what's everyone thinking of this this series so far? I said the other day that I'm going to stay on this for a little bit just because the Porsche map is giving me some issues. I do have a couple other maps that I'm trying to pre-set up that I think might work for being the second series, but I haven't got all the way done the way that I want to. Are you happy with how I'm running this right now on Frankenmuth, or is it getting tiresome of the same thing on the same map, and we need to do something else? So let me know that down in the comments too. I struggle with these videos just because I'm new to this and I'm trying to figure out what people want to see, and I'd love some input from people for staying on this map or doing something else here so you can see some other things. Alright, I think what we'll do is we'll get that ripper moved out of the way. And then we're probably going to have to run that truck back and get some more digestate. After this pass, we've just got headlands to do. Get to the end here. I'll run down to the Challenger, move it, and then I'll get Dad to run me down to the transport truck, and we'll grab it. Set up to do the headlands. Corner. Okay, I'm gonna let this just sit idle for a minute. And I'll be right back. I'm going to run down to that Challenger and move it back over to the farm. So I'll be right back. I think there's enough corn silage still to come off of that new field that we'll just put this back in the barnyard for now. Run it over that way when we're ready. He was getting a little rambunctious, wasn't he? Did you just stay there? Nope. Nope, of course not. Alright, I'm going to put this in the yard here. I'm going to run and find father-in-law here, Dad, and get him to run me down to that truck, and we'll bring it back and get it filled up. back to the farm. The digester there. We'll grab a little bit of product out of there. There's still a little bit at the bottom, but it won't be enough to finish this field up, I don't think. So we'll fill it right up, and whatever we don't have or use, we'll have for the next field we go to. So what they've been doing is driving in and driving all the way around, and then they'll fill here. Okay, well, I just grabbed a quick snack. I was getting a little hungry getting into the middle of the afternoon here, so just drive around the back. This is the nice spot of how they've set this up. You can get out and not have anything really be in the way. It makes it quick and easy, and then right out the driveway here. So this should finish this field. Get this back in the field again, and then do these headlands, and that's going to be it for this. Come back, we'll check the cows. Pretty sure the straw and everything is good in them right at the moment, but we'll check the feed just to make sure that the beef cows have enough sitting there. We can maybe do a hay mix. The other thing is I've got a bunch of bales we can put into these storage compartments for the robot, and we can get them put tops back up so that they are ready to go for the rest of the day here too. So okay, so he's sitting in place there now. That's good. Run over to the applicator and we'll get finishing up this headland. Have to pull the truck out once we get to that last little bit, but that's okay. This ground is so mellow. It's gorgeous. I'm glad we're putting the covers on it. This will keep it from blowing over the winter and make it so that we've got a nice seed bed for the spring. All right. Fire the rig up. Seeder up. Drop. And should be good. So I think we got the sugar beet stuff figured out. Neighbor who we do some stuff with, he has the shuttle cart. We'll end up putting one of our tractors on it, but he said we can use it as long as we do his beets with the harvester lifters. So we'll do that, and then we'll end up putting them all along the road, probably is what we'll end up doing. The processing plant's not ready for them yet, and we'll end up delivering them throughout the winter as needed. We'll load the truck up with that moss loader across the ditch and be ready to get those moved and sold. They'll get turned into sugar, basically, and there'll be byproducts that will actually get turned into some pig feed, I believe is how it works. So that's what that's going to end up being for us there. But that'll be, again, the first little bit of October here. We'll probably get a chance to start into that part of it. As tight as we can here. Up. Big rig, but you can actually turn pretty tight because those back axles turn. Oh. think next year I would actually consider merging this with the field to the north here, just to make it a little bit bigger. It's a bit small. If we had done this whole thing as corn, it would probably would have been enough to be able to do the whole thing, but that's okay next time. Interesting that the ripper didn't get that little bit of corn along the edge out there. This should take it out, of course. Go. Now let's see if this. Do it. We won't make it all the way around again, so we'll fill up when we come up to the front. Oops. Okay, now we can fill when we get to the front. One tank will. I don't think so. I was going to say one tank might be enough to get all the way around. I don't think it'll fill it for 2 or finish it for 2 rounds. Pull that truck out so that we can, once it's full, pull it into the road across the way there. Sort of a winter maintenance road. Nobody really uses it other than the employees that live at those 2 farms. Alright. Here. All right. Back up. Just finish carrying this little bit through. Do this right. That should be the last pass out. The inside pass on this one. And then we can work our way out from here. incredible how much seed it does not use when it comes to roasted radish or covers, whatever you're putting down. It goes a long way just because it's so small. Should just have one pass on this side. Do this. Should be able to get everything else in one pass around. Actually, I'm going to fill that in quick first and then should be able to go around. And if I do this right, this drives straight out over towards the truck. Here. Should be able to do a little bit of a UE right here. Right there. Nope. The hill right there makes it work. I'd like to be going faster. I'd like to be doing 10 or 12 mile an hour with this. I don't think that it's going to do it. I really wish that it didn't do texture to the right here when it just has a little bit of texture that doesn't get worked. I wish that it would just keep it all the same. We keep running into this with these fields here where it misses like a little teeny tiny spot, and if you drop the toolbar in at that point, it drags it with it and makes it look wrong. In my viewpoint, it makes it look wrong. 11 miles per hour, that's what I want to be. Might have missed a little bit right there, but I don't want to carry that extra all the way around. This thing again. be able to do turns and get ourselves all the way back out to the front. We'll be done. My goal is, when I'm done doing this, is that I hopefully don't see any tire marks on anything in this field at all. Now, there's a little bit of a spot there where it's moved over, but the goal would be to have no tire marks showing anywhere in this field if I do it right. And that's the same for spraying, that's the same for this. You should only see the tire marks you should see, and the rest of it should be absolutely perfect. Otherwise, for no tire marks. Okay, come on, let's go. Get up to that 11 mile an hour. I think we're crawling up. Maybe just a little bit of a hidden climb. Not very much if it is one. There's 9. Should have just enough to get back to. Let me get across that spot. Oh, that's enough. Up. 200. Pretty close. I'm going to say yes. Seven, 6, 5, 4. I'm not going to make it. 3, 2, 1. Look at that. Can you believe it? Unbelievable. Alright, well, let's just pull straight out. Actually might need to pull this toolbar up to be able to get out. Wheels down so we don't make a mess of the road. Have any cars coming right at this second, so we'll just pull up along the side of the truck here. We don't need very much. It's probably enough. Yeah, I know. We can wait patiently just for a minute. It took all of 30 seconds for me to sit there and do this. Okay, so we want to go cedar on. Pull boom back in. There we go. The cars here, try and turn out so we can fly right to the edge. We'll do it. B X. No, no. All right. Well, we'll run this back to the yard, and I think that's going to call it a day for today. I hope everyone's enjoyed seeing something a little different. Putting cover crops and digestate down at the same time. That field's all ready for winter now, so it'll be ready for spring. But yeah, so I want to thank everybody for watching. If you're enjoying these videos, please like and subscribe. I'm going to try and do videos every day, other than maybe 1 or 2 on the weekends. But yeah, if the more people that like to subscribe, it's going to help the channel out and be able to keep doing more stuff here. So appreciate everybody watching. And with that, thanks for watching, and we'll see you on the next one.